Hey YouTube, welcome to this installment of the Evian blog. So today we're going to be looking at some of the power tools in use. Specifically today we're going to talk about battery drills. From the cheap stuff for home use to the slightly better stuff, which is the older Bosch Professional series equipment, to some of the newer lithium ion stuff. So let's get straight into the review and see what it's all about. Okay, so first things first, this is a Schultz Power Tools cordless drill, 18 volts. It runs on a NiCad battery, old technology. These drills are bought from Checkers locally in South Africa for around 200-300 rand. And look, they're fine for sort of DIY home use, but I wouldn't use them for much more than that. Powerful enough, not much control. One of the problems I found with this is that this should be forward, but on this specific drill it's reverse, and the opposite way around. So basically the forward reverse switch over here operates backwards. Then you have something else also for DIY home use. This is an 18 volt Black & Decker. Slightly better quality than the Schultz, but still not a completely powerful or good tool. Also one speed, but look, they're both variable with depending on how hard you push the trigger. You've got your screwdriver functionality with your torque settings. So basically if you don't want to strip a screw, you can set the torque, etc. Same as with this one over here. And of course up to the drill function. Then over here we have one of my older Professional series drills. It came with these 12 volt NiCad, 1.5 amp hours. The one NiCad pack had died. You can hear this one's still reasonable but not great. I've modified a lithium polymer battery to run this setup. But now with lithium polymer you need to have a little battery watcher which keeps an eye on your battery voltage and your cell voltage, etc., and it gives you a warning when it gets low. You slot that in and immediately you hear the power. This is a 2600 milliamp hour or 2.6 amp hour, 11.1 volts, 12.6 volts fully charged, lithium polymer battery. 35C discharge, which means 35 times 2.6, so it'll do about close on 90 odd amps or whatever the case may be, 70, 80, 90 amps on peak, which is more than enough to get the functionality going. Again, these drills, you've got your drill function and then you've got all your variable sort of torque settings, and then this has got 2 speeds. So you can operate from almost a crawl, like that, right up to full drilling speed. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic drills. This one has been changed off. This is the 12 volts GSR 12-2 because it came with 2 batteries, so it's a 12 volt NiCad drill. It has since been replaced in my professional kit by an 18 volt lithium ion driver, and I've basically modified this to lithium polymer for home use. So now let's take a look at some of the lithium ion stuff that I use out in the field. These over here, which you see, are only used for home use, for basic drilling and driving functions, but now I'm going to show you guys some of the professional stuff that I use out in the field. Okay, now the first things first, let's take these 2 conventional sort of home use drills, put them out of the way over here. I'm going to talk about this guy over here. This is Bosch's previous sort of professional range of drilling machine, or battery drilling machine. It has now been replaced with this. First thing you'll notice is the size. The battery size, of course. I mean, you've gone from a battery that looks like this, which is a 12 volt, to a same capacity battery, which is 18 volt, that looks like this. So this is the GSB 182Li, which is the lithium ion Bosch drill. Some of the biggest differences that you'll find between the old series like this is this was a drill and driver combined, reversible. This has the same functionality. It's smaller, lighter, better balance, better feel. But if you take a look here on the top, you will see you have drill, driver, and hammer function. The hammer function being for if you're trying to drill into concrete. You've got your full hammer functionality. This is a single sleeve chuck as opposed to this, which is you've got to hold the one side and tighten the other. That's just some of the functionality. And you've got drill and you've got driver. Now if you go to the driver function, and you've got your torque settings over here, so you don't accidentally strip a screw. If you go to drill, it disables that, and you've got the full power of the motor at your disposal. And of course you've got 2 speeds, just like the old drill had. Very nice little piece of equipment. It shows you here that it's on speed 1, 0 to 450, speed 2, 0 to 1400 revolutions per minute. And again, you have that low speed, very fine motor control, high torque, and then low torque but high speed for your drilling. So that makes that a fantastic piece of kit. Now, we're going to talk about a few others. One of them in question is this little kit here, which is also a Bosch Professional. This is a GSB 1082 Li. Now this is a 10.8 volt or 12 volt drill. So in effect, these two machines are almost the same power-wise. Yet look at the size of this little thing in comparison. So this little drill, again, has all the functionality of the 18 volt lithium ion. You've got your hammer, your driver, everything. Your torque settings, 2-speed, variable, work light, everything is there. The only difference with this obviously is it won't have the same sort of power as the 18 volt, but as far as it goes, I use this more for driving functionality as a screwdriver. In fact, you'll see it's pretty much preset on screwdriver function, and that's what it's used for driving nuts, screws, etc. out in the field. Again, single sleeve chuck, very light, very compact. You can put it in your tool belt and not worry about it. Now for the biggest machine that I have currently, anyway. Bearing in mind this is just my battery operated, I do still have electrical impact drills, etc., which are used out in the field. This over here is the Stanley FatMax FMC 620. Now this is possibly my strongest torque-wise. It's quite substantially larger than the little 18 volt. Batteries are a little bit bigger, but they're also 18 volt lithium ion, same capacity. Again, it has the work light, 2 batteries, 2 speeds, hammer functionality, drill functionality, and driver functionality. But the pure torque on this thing with the single sleeve steel chuck and all steel bearings and all steel drive, gearbox, etc. make this thing almost indestructible. I believe they were designed more for use in home applications, but I find it works brilliantly out in the field. And with a 3-year warranty, you can't go wrong with a piece of equipment like this. Oh, by the way, all of them come with this nice little handy dandy hook where you can hook it on your belt or whatever when you're working, just to free up your hands. Okay, so in turn I'm going to talk about these different drills and drivers just so that you guys can get a close-up look and feel for each of them. So here we're looking at the Bosch Professional. This is the GSB 182 Li. As you can see, a nice belt clip, nice compact battery, nice trigger reverse forward mechanism. Here you've got your speed switch, your mode functionality on the top, and of course your clutch settings. Now, as I said to you, probably the most used. It does have a little work light down there, and being professionally rated, you can use this guy for out in the field professionally as an electrician, installation technician, whatever. Whether you do cupboards, electrical work, whatever the case may be, this will be able to get you by. It's a fantastic piece of kit. They retail here in South Africa for around 2,000 Rand, maybe just under that, for this edition with 2 batteries, and very, very hardy, very nice piece of kit, and if you look after it, it'll give you many years of professional service. And here we have the slightly older 12 volt, the GSR 12 NiCad modified to lithium ion. If you can pick one up if you don't have a lot of money, they're okay for professional use, but I wouldn't recommend using these sort of batteries with their NiCad batteries out in the field. The batteries will let you down. In fact, one of my first jobs, I remember when we first changed over to NiCad battery drills, and I'm talking a good, close on nearly 20 years ago. These things did not last for the course of a day for doing hole saw drilling, 20 mil hole saws into cars to install antennas, etc. So I don't recommend them unless it's all you can afford. Then of course maybe it might get you by, but compared to the newer lithium ion stuff, these guys will let you down. I'll let you know how the lithium polymer modified battery works out with this thing, but like I said, mostly used for home use now. The absolute beast drilling machine, very much underrated. Black & Decker, Stanley, DeWalt, same sort of manufacturing lines. The Stanley FatMax, dual speed hammer drill with driver and drill functionality, belt clip, 18 volt lithium ion battery. Of course it does have a nice little LED work light, reversible, pretty much everything, little magnetic holder on top, all steel gearbox, all steel chuck, single sleeve. Like I say, very powerful, very strong, very, very, very nice piece of kit. And of course it has that nice sort of DeWalt look, which makes it stand out from all the usual sort of blue and green color drills that you see out there, such as the Makitas, etc. Last but certainly not least, the little GSB 1082 Li. Like I say, as a driver, very nice. And of course, being a hammer drill, you can still use it for the drilling functions, 2-speed motor, and takes a nice small compact 10.8 volt battery. 2 in the set. If you're looking for something for more professional use and you don't have the money for the bigger sort of drilling machines, then go for something like this. This was picked up for 1,200 Rand on special at Macro. And single sleeve chuck, pretty much all the functionality of the 18 volt lithium ion Bosch Professional, except it's 10.8 volts or about 12.6 fully charged. And yeah, it'll get you by quite nicely and probably do 90% of the work you need to do. So my winner on this selection, I would have to say, would be the Bosch 18 2Li, quite simply because it's small, compact, easy to handle, has all the functionality you need in a drill. One of the main reasons I rate this above the Stanley Fatmax. The Fatmax doesn't have this. You've got a little hook here for a wrist strap, so when you're working at heights, if you drop it, it's hooked onto your wrist. It's not going to kill somebody down below or damage your drilling machine. So just for that reason alone, I think it stands out above the Stanley Fatmax. If that's a reason to not buy the Fatmax, I wouldn't take that as a reason, because you could of course take the Fatmax and you could of course tie something or jimmy something onto the belt clip over here, but it doesn't have that loop sort of holdy point, which is a bit of a letdown. Nothing too serious, but for that reason alone, the Bosch Professional GSB 18 2Li wins this whole competition hands down. I'm not even going to look at the Black & Decker and the Schultz. Those are more for sort of home use. They'll get by for home use. They will not last as long as these machines. So if you're looking for something, or you're in the market for something decent, you can see how small this machine is. Definitely go for something like this. You won't look back. So everybody, thanks for watching this episode of the Evion channel, and as you saw, the winner, the Bosch 18 volt lithium ion drill, definitely hands down, probably just because it's nice and compact, it gets the job done. Please excuse the trucks driving past, they're noisy as fuck, but anyway. So yeah, definitely the winner hands down. All the functionality you could ever need from a drill, nice and compact, nice and small, and if you're looking for something, I'd go out and get something like this. So thanks for watching, and until the next episode, cheers for now. Hey YouTube, so by popular demand I thought I would talk a little bit about this GSR12 Professional with the lithium polymer or LiPo battery conversion that I did. It's not pretty yet, but it does work pretty well. So we're going to talk about charging this thing, and we're going to talk about performance of this over the original NiCad battery that was included with these machines, because I still do have one NiCad, and of course I've modified the one with the balanced charge connector on the back and a sticky Addy bit on the front, but that's not the end of the world. And of course the power is all available there, which makes this machine perfectly usable for both professional, but like I say, it's been downgraded to home use for me. So we're going to talk about charging the battery and what charger I use, the battery that I'm using, etc., and the steps that I took to actually make this possible. Yeah, the first thing we're going to talk about with this conversion is the actual battery. This is a LiPo battery, a 2600 milliamp hour, 11.1 volt, 35C discharge rate cell. The balance connector has been put out the back over here. This needs to still be stuck into place at the back, but this is basically a LiPo battery alarm. So technically what that does there is it monitors each cell's voltage, and it makes sure that it makes an alarm when the batteries reach their low voltage point, whatever you set it at. I've got it set on 3 volts per cell by recommendation for the specific cells that are inside this battery pack. And so once the battery voltage drops to any of the cells drops to 3 volts, the alarm will go off, letting me know it's time to charge the LiPo. So call it like a LiPo alarm, LiPo watcher, whatever you like. It's quite useful. Obviously you don't need it to use the device, but it's good to have on there, so while you're working, etc., you can monitor your battery voltage, and you can see, right, so 4.2, 4.19, 4.2, 12.6 volts basically. So yeah, it works quite nicely for that purpose over there. Right, so the charger that I use to charge all my various batteries is the IMAX B6AC, which is a dual power, both DC and AC input. It can charge anything from lead acid batteries through to Life or LiPo or pretty much anything, lithium ion, whatever. It can charge it, nickel metal hydride. You name it, it does it. At the moment I've got it charging a 18 volt NiCad pack here, which is for the Black & Decker. And I'm just going to change the exposure so you can see the display on there. And as you can see, the display will show you as soon as the focus locks. The display will show you what your current charge current is, what your current voltage is, charge time, etc. And also your battery states, etc. as you go. So for very obvious reasons, this is a really nice charge system, and it works pretty much with any battery system that you may have. The balance charging is a little bit different with this IMAX. When I charge the LiPo batteries through the balance connector, it does work a little bit differently, but it's pretty much the same thing. It'll charge anything and everything whenever you need it to. So as you can see here, the display is quite interesting where it gives you the full readout. This is just a bit of a close-up so you can see what the display shows you. This is charging, like I said, a NiCad battery pack. I'm charging it at 0.1 amps. Currently sitting on 23.64 volts. Once it's fully charged, we'll see how it performs afterwards. So let's get straight into the review of the Bosch Drawl Driver compact 10.8 volt unit. Comes in this nice little casing over here, which makes for good storage, etc. of the unit. When you open up, you'll find your 10.8 volt GSB 1080 2LR driver with a battery in it and a spare battery, your charger, and I've added the small little bit kit, which basically gives me access to quick sort of bit changes, etc. when I'm out in the field. Now this specific model does have the functionality of a full drawl, being a hammer drawl, a normal drawl, and a driver with multiple torque settings, and with easy change 10.8 volt 1.5 amp hour batteries. Makes for a very light sort of workhorse. Now I've been using this tool for a little while for driving screws, nuts, bolts, etc., and it's actually pretty strong. So I'm going to cut now to the videos of this thing driving through into wood using stage bolts, etc., so you guys can draw your own conclusions as to how strong this device really is. Right, so here we have the Stanley FatMax 18 volt lithium ion drawl driver. Still one of my favorite pieces of kit. This unit over here also comes with two batteries. It's an 18 volt lithium ion and the charger. Again, functionality of a hammer drawl, an ordinary drawl, all metal 2-speed gearbox, all metal single sleeve chuck, nice little belt clip over here, everything that you pretty much need to get your drilling work and driving work done out in the field. I use this unit quite a lot alongside the various Bosch units that I own, and I enjoy using it just as much as I enjoy having it in the toolkit for when it's needed. Fantastic piece of kit all around. One of the other machines that I really enjoy using out in the field is the GSB 182LR, which is an 18 volt lithium ion Bosch drawl driver with all the functionality that you could ever want out of a drawl driver. 2-speed gearbox, drawl, driver, hammer drawl function, and of course your torque settings for driving so that you don't strip your screws or your bits, etc. Of course a nice little belt clip and a working light. The working lights do work quite well to light up the work area that you're busy working on. All in all, a really nice piece of kit, and you will learn soon that this being the winner of my overall battery drawl sort of reviews that I enjoy using the most.